Am I the only one who looks like this after like a long and hard work day? And by long and hard, it was just average and everything that I expected from like probably a Monday. Things we need to do. I did pick up groceries. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Okay, so I want to put them away, take the rotisserie chicken off of the bones. I did not eat chicken for like probably the last 6 to 8 years. Just recently started eating chicken again. It's very interesting, very interesting. So this feels like a brand new experience for me. We're gonna experience it together. I do wanna take the chicken off right away though, because I want to save the bones so that I can make a bone broth. We're not gonna make the bone broth tonight because I think the easiest way to do it is gonna be like either in my crock pot or in my Instant Pot. And tonight I wanna make a crock pot meal that I've never made before. And I'm really hoping that I got all the ingredients from the grocery store to do it. And then I just looked over and realized I have no bedding on my bed. And that's how we got where we are right now, is the fact that I was literally, oh, 1 second, let me get my chicken rolling. I guess you're probably not gonna be able to see my chicken. Should we take a bite? Give it a review. Honestly, who can resist a rotisserie chicken? I feel like it's the same energy as like driving home with fries. Oh. Like, you smell it and immediately you're like, it's about time. Like, I gotta have some. When have you ever successfully made it home without eating a fry? And it's just a rule, you gotta have a few in the car, bare minimum. It's bare minimum behavior. Okay. So I'm gonna, oh, I actually don't know if I have it in me to do this. I'm gonna de-meat this thing as quickly as possible. Some people are like dead set on getting every little last meaty particle off of the bones, but honestly, if I do a subpar job, I'll be fine with that. And then just let the meat be part of my stock broth situation. And again, I'll be fine with that. So I have 2 containers here that you can't see either of them, but you know what? I'm just doing my best. Oh, I really don't know if I can do this. Anyway, so on the one I have for meat, and the other one I have for the leftovers. Everything else that isn't meat. Ooh. Ooh. Yeah, I didn't think I was gonna struggle with this so bad, but I don't like this texture thing that's happening right now. Don't like it at all. Suddenly I'm rethinking my chicken leg. I should have definitely eaten that first because I'm not liking this, fam. Yucky. This is very yucky. Oh, that wasn't even the main course. I didn't even do the breast assist yet. I thought like for sure I'd gotten through this. We'll do this, maybe prep a soup. If I remember after that, I would like to water my fruit trees. Ooh, this reminds me, now that we're yapping. So there's like a time where I went vegan for a bit, which I'm not like pro or anti anything. I just was vegan for a bit and I was trying to do a good thing for my health, but my body didn't take to it very well. So then I had to not be vegan anymore. Anyway, I digress. Basically, the very first time that I was like, yeah, I think I'm gonna start eating meat again, I got invited to this party and I was new to the area when I first moved to Florida. I didn't have any friends. So I was like, you know what? Like anything I get invited to, I have to go. And I wound up going and they were having fresh caught crab. And so it's like, if you've never been to a crab boil, the experience is very, very interesting. And basically like they have all these crabs and they are like squirming around and they boil them fresh and then they dump them out on a table. And it's like a 20-step process to like peel apart the entire crab and get the meat out of the crab. And it's a process that I have since learned is not very good for me. Like it is a large sensory experience that does definitely overwhelm me. And I don't like necessarily eating like any sort of crustaceans like that, just because the like deboning whatever experience is really like overwhelming to me. And so this was like one of my first non-vegan experiences in a while. So that was off-putting, and this was definitely my first time experiencing eating crab at all, other than maybe like a crab dip from like your grocery store. So definitely a new experience, and I did not know what I was getting into. And I got there, and I think I kind of started like crying while I was doing the crab. Like I got really, really overwhelmed because I saw everyone eating the crab, and I was like, you know what, I think I'm just gonna watch. So I missed like the first 10 steps, and that's when I was like, I'm definitely just gonna watch them eat one. But then everyone was like peer pressuring me like, oh, just try one. And I was really trying to like fit in and just like make friends, I guess. Like I didn't want to be like, oh, like this is new, so it's disgusting type of thing. Like I was like, you know what, like, you know, even this chicken thing, like this is new, so it's kind of getting me, but like not in a public setting where I just got invited and I'm like trying to befriend everyone and like not be like, oh, I think what you're doing is disgusting type of way. So anyway, like I didn't want to come off as like judgy or whatever, so I was just like, oh, I gotta commit to the bit. And so anyway, I got overwhelmed between like the crab and the sensation and like the texture of it all and everything. I just got really, really anxious, and I started crying there at the dinner table with my new friends. And there was like a couple people there that I had known a little bit better, so that was definitely better, but like didn't make it any less awkward. And so then I got in the car and I was like, I have to call like my old friends. Like I can't, like I was so embarrassed and like really not over it and not over the crab experience and like the trying to make friends of it all. And then anyway, so I wind up calling my friends, and I was like making this Snapchat like 75 video long saga to my friends while I was driving home. And in the middle, I'm like sobbing in this video. And I was like, the crab disgusted me. Like I still was not over it, clearly. And I'm sending this video to my friends who are like asking me like, how are you doing? How's the move been? Like, hope you're doing okay, sis. And I'm like, I hate the crab. It was the crab. And anyway, I proceeded to get lost and drive the wrong way home. And so then I'm crying about that. And then I was like, past this cop on the road, and I got scared I was gonna get pulled over, and I was like so stressed out, and you could just tell it was all hitting me at one time. And anyway, still to this day, all of my friends remember the crab video. That was like years and years and years ago, and I would snap them about all sorts of stuff going on in my life and new experiences I was having in Florida, and literally not a singular friend skipped a singular video of the crab saga. Like that was the highlight of our friendship for a while, was like, oh my gosh, and she ate the crab. And I'm not gonna live it down. And you know what? Now I stand by it. I'm still friends with everybody who invited me to the crab dinner that I disliked. And I have had crab like a couple times since in the same format where they like boil it and then you like peel it apart. And that's when I realized like I think it was just like the overwhelm, and I don't like the crab. But at the time, could you like literally, what is this moth doing here? Get out of here. Get out of my, did it just land? Wait. Oh, I thought it landed in my robe. Okay. So the question is, do we pour the juices over the meat or into the bones? I'm thinking into the bones, but I don't know if that was the right choice. We already made really good progress. I'm going to do a bold thing right now, and I'm going to finish eating my chicken wing leg that I was very much so enjoying until I had this sensory experience. So you know what? I can very much so still enjoy it for what it is, right? Say it with me, yes. Yep, I can. I can love this. Good. I'm so thankful to be fed food. Meanwhile, I want my dog to be internet famous. Oh my gosh. I want my dog to be internet famous, but I think he thinks that being filmed is like being in trouble. I don't know why, because I always take pictures and videos of him and everything, but he's just like that. That was great. Okay. Allegedly, this recipe is going to take 5 minutes to make. Here's the catch. I'm new here, okay? Almost every recipe that I make, I've forgotten some ingredient, something didn't turn out well. Like my pickup order grocery of could be 1.5 pounds to 2 pounds of, I wound up getting top sirloin steak, but this recipe called for beef shanks. Here we are, and I only got like 0.63 pounds of it. So it says drop that in first. Perfect. Now they're gonna use a high pressure cooker. We're not gonna do that. So you're only adding 1 bay leaf, and mind you that I have way less of the, what's with my bay leaves here? Of the, oh, these smell so good. Of the meat that we need. But you know what? That's not gonna stop us from making the recipe. Okay, and then half an onion, which I realize now that my onion was super, super tiny, but I think that's gonna work out perfectly. I did get a little less of everything, and one of the like main ingredients was squash, zucchini squash, and also I didn't get any of that in my order. They were out. So we're already gonna be down a few ingredients. I feel like this is gonna be the perfect size. So, and it just said onion slices, which is substantially easier than dicing. It's gonna save you a lot of time. So if they say it's gonna work, it's gonna work. They also added, maybe it's called chayote. I don't know. This is like a Mexican Spanish soup. So I've actually never had, it's called caldo de res, I think. So I've never had it, but it looked delicious. So I was like, I'll try and make it. And then, you know, next time if I knew I was making it in advance, maybe I could find some of these other ingredients. Like if I went to the, I think there's like a Mexican food mart type of thing here where I live. Okay, I'm gonna do mine on high because I didn't really think about this and the time is ticking here for me to get to bed. So I'm just, but they did a pressure cook and I'm just gonna do a crock pot because I feel like my recipes, especially when the meat, like I was supposed to have 2.5 pounds of meat. So this whole entire recipe is doing it based off that like chunk of meat that I don't have. So pressure cooking at the amounts that they said is just gonna be far too much. And when I try to do the conversion to the amount of meat that I have, I feel I'm going to mess it up. So just crock pot cooking it is way more guaranteed that it is going to turn out the way it's supposed to. Although I think that they kind of just throw the things at the end and give them like a light cooking at the end, and you know what? I'm not doing that. So I'm just gonna throw everything in right away and hope that it turns out the best. Okay, so you're gonna add your beef and half of an onion, rough slice. Then you're gonna add potatoes, carrots, corn, 1 tomato, a lime, like juice of a lime, half of a cabbage, and 2 squash. If you don't have any of those things, make it work. I don't care about the rest. Then we're gonna, I think you top it at the end. Yeah, top it at the end with your cilantro and some salt and pepper, and then to serve cilantro and a little bit of lime. Allegedly. So I guess I'll give you a review once I'm done with this. My soup is cooking. You're probably not getting a food review until the morning because I'm about to eat dinner right now. I'm having some kimchi, some soup. I basically just have the broth left of this soup, but I'm really excited about that. I have like an eel rice dish here. That's what I'm having for dinner. And you're like, oh, what's for dessert? Some lemon frosting and marshmallow cream. This one is elite though. This tastes like marshmallow cream frosting and it's amazing. So that's what I'll be having. And then you're like, oh, what are you gonna do? I'm gonna put my bedding on my bed without you because you know what? I'm tapped out, and I'm also gonna sit down and I'm gonna edit videos on my laptop because there's nothing I want more than at the fresh crack of I should be going to bed to just edit some videos for myself, I guess. And I just posted some TikToks, so I'm gonna see if they do well or not. This is kind of like my new nighttime hobby, is like, let's see if we did good today or what, and then maybe brew up some ideas for tomorrow. I swear this is the last time I'm calling and then I'm going to bed. But did you guys recently see that video about how the editing, the chopping, cutting, editing software, the CapCut, got the rights to like any of the footage that you upload onto, you need to read the like official document, but like basically they can
like if you put your own footage on there, they own the rights to it if you're using it to edit. And I believe the same people bought the editing software inside of TikTok as well, so it's like the same thing. And that's why it was like getting all glitchy there for a while, because they were doing like a transfer of ownership, and they like updated the terms and everything and like in the fine print, but like not even that fine. That's what it said. So anyway, I just wanted to be clear with you that recently I feel like my editing style is always changing, because I'm just not a woman of consistency like that. But so if you do any sort of editing of your own content or making your own content, I have officially went back to iMovie. So if you see a different vibe, I'm on iMovie shamelessly, because I just think it's crazy that they think that that's okay to put in there. Like literal insanity. Plus they're like charging for everything, and I just don't like that, so I'm cutting them off. I made a soup that I want to show you and taste test. I also want to give you my full-blown makeup routine and update you on that, show you my low tox coffee making routine. Usually none of my vlogs have like a plot or anything, but I'm trying to make this one just a little bit more planned, I guess. I don't know. The problem with me and what I've learned about my vlogging style is that I'm not like a planner. Everything's like go with the flow or live in the moment. Literally, if I change my mind right now, like I'll just do what I want to do. So the idea of showing you something or committing to it and saying I'm going to do it usually doesn't turn out. So first I want to show you my low tox coffee routine. I try to put this in every video because it's like one of my favorite parts of the day, but I'm going to give you like in-depth everything about it because it's so good. So this is like a little individual burner so that I can do it anywhere in my kitchen. I could set this up in my office, just do it anywhere. Me personally though, what I was gonna say is you could also do this on your regular stovetop burner. You don't have to have one of these burners. Now, I don't want you to be scared of the low tox coffee because although it may seem like more steps, this works just like a regular coffee maker. In fact, originally I got a timer outlet, which is just like an additional piece that you plug into your outlet, and it would make this start at the same time every single day and cut off at the same time. And it is a timed amount, like every single day it takes the same amount of time to run. So that would work if you just wanted it to start at 7 a.m. and be ready and prep everything the night before, just like a regular coffee maker. You could do that, but me personally, I make my coffee at a different time every morning. I forget about these little things. I would forget about all of it. So speaking of, I just remembered that I have coffee in here from yesterday. So first off, this is the components. So this is your like coffee filter, which I just smacked the coffee from yesterday out of mine, and then usually I give it just a little wipe down in the sink. And then this bottom part, you fill up with water until this little notch right here inside, if you can see that. Why could you see it for a second? Now I feel like you can't see it. Can you see it? Whatever. In real life, you could see it so easily. So you fill it up with water to there, and this is going to make the equivalent of 2 shots. I'm now remembering I want an ice cold coffee, and yesterday I already made 2 shots and I only drank 1. So let's get out our cup and let's get to making a coffee. I was going to reuse my cup that I used yesterday, but I just rinsed it out, but I didn't like clean it. But I don't want you to think I'm gross, and it would be less aesthetic. No, I'm just gonna reuse it. Okay, so actually maybe today is not the day you're getting the full. See, this is why I literally was just telling you how like every time I plan things, they just change and we gotta go with the flow. I'm not going back on this. You're getting the full coffee tour a different day. I guess, I wanna know, like, have you guys used a mocha pot? And when we're going through this, are you literally like, ma'am, we all know what a mocha pot is. Like, this is insanely boring to us. I'm also testing things out with the angles. Like I said, I love to make coffee with you. I just feel like the angle is lacking. Like, you know, it's like that friend that you FaceTime, but then like they're always in the shower and all you can see is the ceiling and you're literally just like, we could talk anytime and every day all I see is your shower. That's what this is giving right now. I feel like the lighting is not that good and everything. Okay, I'm gonna froth my foam on the cold setting, and then how I measure everything is you hold it like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I like 10 seconds of honey. And yesterday I was counting and talking at the same time, and I swear I only got 3 seconds, and my coffee was not as good because of it. So next I put in usually 8 seconds of espresso.
is half of the espresso, but I think yesterday I used a little bit more. We definitely need to make another espresso. I can't do this. I can't do it. I can't do it. Okay. So back to the original. There's this knob on the outside. You can see it on the inside. You're going to fill the water to here. That's going to make me 2 espresso shots. I have 2 different size mocha pots. So obviously one makes 1 shot and the other makes 2. This is like the one I use when guests have arrived. 1 second, I need to find something. This is like the Italian. So mocha pots are Italian. That's like, if you lived in Italy, everybody would have a mocha pot. That was cool. So this is like one of the best, like all the Italians love this. And I can literally only find it at Home Goods. That's where I get mine from, which is fine. And it's always a good deal. Oh, it smells so good. Oh, and there was one specialty market that I found it at, which I really love going there, but I don't always get the chance to go. And like I said, it's like a specialty, so it's further away. This is my favorite espresso bean as well, and I can only find these at Trader Joe's. And I don't know what they're duping, like if I could find it somewhere else, but okay. Now, one thing about the mocha pot is you don't want to use any like stainless steel with it. It can give like a tinny flavor. So you want to like scoop your coffee with a wooden spoon and do all the things with wood, not stainless steel. Okay, great. So you don't press the coffee down at all when you use the mocha pot. Now you're gonna take your little lid, screw it on, and I fill the little filter thing to the top. Okay? And I just rev this bad boy up to 5 because I'm impatient. It takes, I think, 1 minute longer if you do it at like 3 or 4, or my burner. So I have it on high. Okay, I'm gonna put this stuff away and add some ice. So now that I have my espresso in here, usually the espresso's hot and it helps mix the coffee in, and I like to get a good mix on these before I add like my frothy milk. Okay, of course you can see it, the mix is complete. And now I'm gonna ice it. And then we throw the frothy milk over the top at the end. Which this is like, usually my espresso before I put ice in is up to here. These are like, it's not your standard espresso size shot. Okay, now I'm gonna show you. And my milk didn't turn out that good. What is going on today? It's like your kids. You know when you want them to like behave in front of somebody and make you look good, they don't do it. But then like the second nobody's around, they're just the best. I'm making this work because I cannot even describe to you how badly I need caffeine right now, and I'm just gonna make a whole second coffee when the pot gets done. Okay, it's my little lid. It still tastes delicious. What are you doing way up there? I actually think this coffee is gonna bring me back to life. Yep, it is. Okay, I need to feed my dog. I'm one of those people, thank goodness my dog is the breed he is, because just like how my schedule is kind of chaotic and everywhere, my dog's is the exact same. Like, he does not have a set routine when I feed him. He kind of just eats when there's food in the bowl, so I try to keep food in his bowl all the time, but one of my goals ever since I started having pets was like I always wanted to home make their food. I just think it's so much better and healthier for them, in the same way that like I try to freshly make my food. So lately I've been using this. It's not an ad, but it's Fresh Pet, but I get it at like the regular grocery store where I get my groceries. And the thing is, it's not any more expensive than the regular kibble I was giving him. I can't remember if I made a video, but I had previously tried cooking him his own food, and I give him table scraps all the time just to try to get more like whole foods and variety in his diet. But anyway, with that being said, with the whole food, like this refrigerated food, I can't just like leave food in the bowl all the time. So I always leave like a portion of dry kibble in case he's ever hungry. And then every day I've been trying to remember morning and night to give him real food. But luckily, the thing about the Bichon is that they are like Like they won't eat if they're full. You know how some dogs are like so ravenous for food and they're always begging and whatever? He's not like that. So it's really, really helpful because like if I'm eating food and he's wanting some, he will only eat till he's full. But like every time I eat, I give him a little bit of my food and he helps me remember and stay on track. All right, so I really, really, really want to do a taste test of this soup and I need to put it away. I wound up crocking it overnight. Okay, I love these big Pyrex containers. I think you can get a set of 3 for $30. When I bought them, I was literally like, so expensive, but I knew I needed bigger storage containers and these have not let me down. They're amazing. You can also cook things in the oven with these, like casseroles and, you know, like French toast, baked, stuff like that. So these are a really good investment. This is going to work, but what I love to do, like I'm seeing how much I made of this, a lot more than I thought I was gonna make. So what I love to do is freeze a portion of it. And I noticed with myself, if I don't freeze it right away, I might not freeze it. So I have these things, these are called super cubes. They are like the upgraded version of every silicone, I forgot we were making coffee. I'm like, is my dishwasher on? Of every like silicone little container you've ever seen, because they really hold form, so you can move them around, carry them filled with liquid food. You put them in your freezer, they're gonna freeze really evenly. These are wonderful. So I'm gonna see, because I have these big, I think this is, how much is it? I forget the portioning of these, but I'm gonna see if the big ones, if I can freeze any of the soup in that, because I cut the stuff really big. Usually I like to use this size because it just defrosts a little better. I don't know why mine have white spots on them, but that's none of my business. Okay, so let's do a taste test on this soup and get it transferred over to the container. I'm gonna be so hurt if this is not edible. I checked it before bed and the meat is like perfect in here. Yeah, before bed, the meat was not looking good. I did sample some of the broth though, and like things definitely had changed from when I initially put everything in here. I just think maybe the corns won't fit in these little super cube things, so we'll see how much of this I can get to fit in the container. Now this was gonna like condense down. Let's do a potato first. Potatoes delish. Had I realized the tomatoes weren't gonna fall apart, I would have cut those a little smaller. The cabbage even is separated. That's the thing about a crock pot. It's not like like anything in a pot really mixes, you know, as it's cooking, it's mixing. But with a crock pot, I feel like that doesn't happen. Okay, let's try, this is like onion. Let's get a little piece of meat. And it's a little toasty, so I don't want to go too hard. I wish I would have seasoned the meat and just taken my own call there. You know what? I don't know if you guys ever had borscht soup as a kid. That's like, I think a Midwest thing. Or maybe it's German. I feel like borscht could be German. Borscht. It sounds, I don't know. Anyway, I don't know if you've ever had borscht soup, but if you have, this reminds me of it. My mom, as we got older, she started making this borscht soup. It would always have beets, so I do feel like it's missing the beets. But if this had beets in it, I feel like this is giving very borscht soup. And the flavor is relatively similar, how it's just like this brothiness with a little bit of flavor. I think if I made this again, I would definitely add more seasoning personally. Like a variety of seasonings. And I think they had peppers in theirs, and that was supposed to add some more flavor too. And I wasn't able to find the peppers at my grocery store, so I think I would do a replacement like that just to add more variety.